Oh my gosh. Hey y'all, it's your little mixed girl, Selena from the South, and today I have with y'all my labor and delivery story. And I honestly just don't know where to start. So let's take you back to when it all started. My baby girl is here. She's been here for a week and like a couple days actually. So it's been hard to film and I've been just catching up on sleep, just really tired, and the weather wasn't the best, so it made the lighting really bad. And so I just haven't really had time to film. But today is the day that you guys will get the story. Start this story time when my contractions actually started. So on Tuesday late, which was like 10 o'clock at night, I just got finished playing a game with my parents called Phase 10. If you don't know the game, it's a lovely game. Y'all should go play it. Anyway, my dad went to go lay down to go to sleep for work in the morning, and then my mom and I decided to go downstairs and go watch some TV because we weren't tired yet. So we went downstairs, and then there was a point while we were watching that I literally looked at my mom and said, "We're going into labor tonight, you might want to go to sleep." And she was joking with me before, and she was saying how bloated and sick she felt and how she can't wait until I have this baby so she doesn't have the symptoms with me. And then all of a sudden, while we were having that conversation, I literally stopped in the mid of whatever I was saying to her, responding to her, and the contractions were just getting stronger. And I literally said, "Just go upstairs, go to sleep, because I'm feeling like this is the real thing." And then she was like, "Okay." So then she slowly was dozing off anyway, and she finally went upstairs, and I rolled over to try to go to sleep, and it just was not in my favor to go to sleep at all. The contractions were getting a lot stronger, a lot more frequent, but I was avoiding to go to the hospital just because I was already told a week prior that if I'm planning to do all natural with no epidural, try to go through most of your labor at home before you get to the hospital. So, long story short, that week I also got a call from my nurse that was saying since my blood pressure was high that they would put me on an induced list for that Sunday. So I was already put on an induced list for my blood pressure for the 23rd, but she, right here, decided to come in the morning on the 19th. These are so strong. And they keep happening. Lord Jesus. And I don't want to wake my parents up right now. Oh my God. But these contractions are getting stronger and stronger. Oh. Okay. I might have to wake them up. Then I contacted the baby daddy and was saying to him how I think it's the real thing, but I don't want to go to the hospital. And he was just saying how I shouldn't be stubborn and how if it is the real thing, then you need to go. And I was like, "No, my parents just laid down. They're tired. Like, they need rest." And he was just like, "If you're in labor, you're in labor. They'll be fine. They'll understand." As I was on the call with him, I told him I was going to hang up and take a shower because I didn't know how long I was going to be in labor. And one thing I hate is stinking. So I went to go take a shower. And I had about 6 really strong contractions while I was in the shower, and that's when I knew, like, it's time to head to the hospital. I hurried up and got some clothes on and ran upstairs. Okay, I didn't run upstairs, but as much as I could go a little faster than what I was going, I went upstairs with my suitcase that I packed for the hospital just because I didn't know how long I would be in there, so of course, get a hospital bag. And then I just remember saying, "Help, someone help me." And 10 minutes before that, when I was taking my shower, I heard my brother upstairs using the restroom. So I was like, okay, he's up, he can help me. And as I was going up the stairs, I was saying my brother's name, which is Christian. I was like, "Christian, help, Christian, come here." And nothing, no movement at all. So my mom all of a sudden heard me. So she heard me and she was like, What's going on? Are you okay, sweetheart?" And at that time, I made it from like the doorway of the stairs to almost to the room. because it was getting to the point I could not walk. Like, that's how bad they were. And my dad was in the background looking lost as heck, and he was just like not comprehending what was really going on. And my mom was like, Mike, hurry up, she's in labor, it's go time. So she was getting everything together, and then we finally got in the car. So now we're just gonna fast forward, because if you want to hear like a little part of that, we can do a separate video for like the car ride there. It was pretty funny. But anyway, we got to the hospital, and as I was checking in, I was in a wheelchair, and then the nurses knew, like, this girl must be in labor, because I was already in the hospital the week prior for false contractions that weren't as strong, and I was like screaming at this time. Like, they were hurting so bad, and I was like, y'all, I am in labor. The nurses were taking a minute, and I was just getting so frustrated, because I was like, I need to get back there. Like, I need to get back there. And they were saying how if your water didn't break, then you're most likely fine. But not everybody's water breaks. Like, only 15% of women's waters actually breaks during labor. So I was just getting really frustrated, and they finally were like, okay, hey, Selena, are you ready? And I was like, yep, I'm ready. So they hurried up and wheeled me back, and the pain that I was in, the nurse was like, she didn't even hook up anything to me. She's like, hey, the doctor's about to come in. He's about to check your cervix. And I was like, praise God. So then he was checking my cervix, and he was like, okay, honey, you were 2 centimeters last week when you came in, and now you're 5 centimeters. That was literally within 11 o'clock Tuesday night to 3 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, because we got there about 3:40, or not, yeah, it was about 3:40 when I got into the room to deliver. And then as I was in the room, I can't really tell you what happened, just because I didn't do epidural. I did do all natural, but I did have to take meds because the contractions were getting way too strong, and I was not dealing with the pain if I didn't have to. And when my midwife came in, she was like, do you want anything? And I was thinking, if I take medicine, that's just like taking epidural, which it's not, but that's my mindset. I was just like, no medicine. And then my mom was like looking at me that I was in pain, and she was like, you should probably take something. So then I took those, and I was like, how long are these gonna kick in until I don't feel anything? They're like, you're still gonna feel it, but they'll kick in about a minute. Within that minute, they did kick in, and they told me the side effects of it was I was gonna feel really loopy, like I was on drugs, or like I was drunk, basically. And that's exactly how I felt. I just felt really zoned out, and I can't remember most of what happened, so that's when you come in.